guys can have each other. I don't even know why I'm wasting my time.
Sabrina, wait.
Get off of me, Rich!
Let her go, Rich. Why not they?
Vicky.
Excuse you?
You heard me. You clearly cannot handle him. So I will.
Seriously, B.
So it goes about saying that the Sabrina and Rich scenes were just the worst part of the season 9 premiere. And it seems that she's going to be on a path of a storyline that I have absolutely no interest in at all this season. I believe the episode 3 synopsis says something along the lines of, going out there and doing her own thing. Essentially, hot girls summering it up. And I feel like there's so much more you could do with this character. Why have her just being butthurt over a man that she herself opted to discard? But then again, this has happened with all the other women too. Danny with Preston, Karen with Zach, Andy with Gary, and now Sabrina with Rich. I mean, it kind of happened with Calvin as well, but they really didn't focus too much on that because there was way more time with Sabrina entertaining other men and Calvin on the sidelines like a lovesick puppy. But the 1 or 2 times he was out with another woman, after Sabrina herself said she did not want to be in a relationship with him, she felt that she had the right to get in her feelings about it. And obviously there's a major difference between seeing someone who you rejected just on a date with someone else versus seeing the guy you were in a long-term several months, long-term relationship with, and he's banging someone else hours later after you dump him. Okay, there is a difference, but there was absolutely no reason for her to even talk to Rich after this, let alone him chasing after her. Because at this point, it's like the only reason she's upset is because she still has feelings for him. But then they just had to make it where, well, we can't make Sabrina look completely awful, so let's throw Rich some just idiot juice, if you will, by having, I just put the tip in, and I'm glad you came when you did because you stopped me from making a huge mistake. And I needed Penelope to take my mind off you. Yeah, this is just all stupid. And then her going at Penelope, her of all people? Well, wait, so you've known each other since you were young. Have you ever thought about doing anything with her? Again, Sabrina, you have no ground. You have no right to interrogate him about this. You're done. You made that choice. I mean, let's back it up now. They had that dinner, and that's when Sabrina dropped the bomb that it's too late. I already had Damani's sperm inserted into my donation or whatever, egg or whatever to freeze it, so it's done. Rich got up from the table. Fuck. Yeah. He had every right to do that. I don't blame him. I mean, truth be told, he handled it better than I thought he would. But yeah, at that moment, Sabrina should have known they were done. Because then we have the 1 month time skip, and then we see Tony bumping into her and Damani coming back from their work trip or whatever. And then eventually she goes over to the juice shop to confront Rich because apparently he's ghosted her for the entire month. So Sabrina, I mean, at that point, you should know, yeah, there's a good chance he doesn't want to continue our relationship. I mean, Rich should have just, I don't know, he could have just said it's over then and leave, as opposed to just ghosting her, but whatever. So then when he's at the shop, he's like, yeah, just forget it. And then he starts flirting with a customer, and then Sabrina throws a fit and leaves. And then that's when he rushes over to her apartment. You're still my woman. And then catch her there with Calvin, but they weren't doing anything. They were just hugging, I believe. And that's when, from there, she's like, I think we should see other people. Like, no, Damani and I, we didn't do anything, but it's almost like there's a look in her eyes, like there are some feelings there or something of that nature. And then that's when, she sends Rich on his way. And then later that night, that's after she packed up all of his stuff, she opted to go over to his job and leave, give him the rest of his belongings, if no other reason than to actually solidify the fact, hey, this box, me handing you everything you own that was in my apartment, this is the sign of this is like official. And it's like the fact that she wasn't able to put the period on that relationship is what made her mad. Because if it was just Rich in there cleaning up, she would have dropped all that box. You could tell he would probably want to try to talk about, I don't think there's anything to talk about, and then just leave. That's it. She wouldn't care. But the fact that she saw him moving on already, all of a sudden, and let's, okay, I was going to give Sabrina some, sympathy, not sympathy, but understanding, because I said this a couple times, the fact that, yeah, the person you broke up with, a few hours later, you see them with another person, you'll be in your feelings too. But the thing is, these two were, even if Rich wants to call it, we never officially broke up, you ghosted her for a freaking month. And, well, Rich, are we to assume that you weren't interacting with any other woman? So you were pretty much celibate for like a solid month. And then, all the while Sabrina's, getting all happy and whatnot and close to Damani on that work trip. So from there, well, I guess at that point you could say they aren't in a relationship. It's complicated, so to speak. So for Sabrina to be like, what with her? It's like, well, the dude's been pinned up for a month, so he had to get it out somehow. So I ain't mad at him. You know what? Yeah, I take back what I said in terms of like, Rich, nah, they're over. It's done with. And he asked like, what, is there supposed to be a time limit on when I can move on? Best believe, because didn't Damani that same day after they got back from the trip, he asked if they could be something more, like possibly start dating and whatnot. Best believe if Sabrina called up Damani after dropping off Rich's stuff, or talked to him the next morning saying that, you know what, yeah, I think I do want to pursue something with you, and Rich just so happened to see them out in public on a date the next day, he throws a fit. Guess what? Sabrina's like, we're over, Rich. We don't know. It doesn't matter. But the fact that he moves on and you catch him, you throw his shit and then start yelling. Nah, just, you can miss me with that. You can miss me. And like I said, there was no reason for her to even go. Say what you will about Penelope, but there was zero reason for Sabrina to take shots at her. You reek of desperation. You deserve each other. Man, shut up. Like, you and your desperate. Oh, no. Sabrina can miss me. I already know I'm going to hate her this season. I already know. So like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.